without glasses, which I'm not so sure about it now, but it's fine. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Tita. And so for today's video we are going to be discovering how I edit and take my Instagram photos. So this video is going to be divided into two topics. So the first one is how I take Instagram photos, and the second one is how I edit them. So I highly recommend you to just watch the whole video because it makes more sense that way. But if you want to skip, here are the times for each part of the video. So yeah, let's get into it. As far as for equipment, the equipment that I use is very basic. It's my iPhone 11. The camera is great, and if you have the chance just to mess around with all the settings and everything, you get a photo very personalized and more appropriate to the result that you want to get. So yeah, I highly recommend the iPhone 11 camera. Then if by anything else, I have my cameras with me. I usually take photos with the Canon M100 because it's more little and I just carry around with me more than the Canon 200D. That's the other one that I use. But yeah, I highly recommend these three cameras because the three of them are excellent, like really great, and you can do a lot of stuff, and you can just take photos from the most basic to the more complex. And so I guess it just covers the range of possibilities that I personally love, and I like when one equipment can give me so much and not being so, you know, strict to one specific kind of photo. So yeah, that's why I highly recommend these three cameras, because you can do so much with each of them and you're not so strict to a specific kind of photo. So the setting of my Instagram depends on the mood because I basically just take photos whenever I want of whatever I want. I have no obligations whatsoever regarding that topic. And so if I'm feeling confident that day, or if I like something, I just take a picture of it. I take a picture of myself and I edit. But yeah, there's no like rules to follow when it comes to setting, besides that I really like blue and brownish, very I don't know, warm colors, you know. So yeah, that's mainly the colors that I look forward into, like on a set or everything. And also nature, because, you know, peace, calm, I like it. So my go-to pose is just be there, like awkwardly standing, smiling, because I don't know what else to do. But I like when photos are more like the angle is more like this, so I seem taller, you know, illusion is the key. But yeah, I don't specifically have a pose. I just smile a lot on my photos because I want to keep that positive vibe on my Instagram, because that's who I am. I'm always smiling, and everything else, whatever, I'm not crying, you know. I'm like the two extremes. Whatever I'm feeling in that moment, I'll just do it and post it. Basically, that's it. Editing time. So for editing, there are a lot of things that we can talk about into that subject. So the first of all is the apps that I use. So as you can see on my iPhone, I have this camera folder where I just basically put everything related to taking photos or edit photos, basically editing, but yeah. So the main app that I use is Lightroom, because first of all is a free mobile app, which I think is pretty cool. Then you can do so much with this app, like changing your photos so radically, that I think is very professional of this app. So I like to use it, and what I like the most is that I can just create my own presets, and as many as I want, as you can see. And yeah, basically I have the photo that I want. Then I love using Tezu. I don't know if this is how you pronounce it, but I really like this app. It just, I don't know. I will talk later on like filters and otherwise, but yeah, I really like this app. And then I have VSCO, of course, or VSCO. I don't know how you say this app. I say VSCO. Yeah, I don't really know how I say it. Then I have Foodie, which is a very cool app, and I don't use it as much because it doesn't go like accordingly to what I look for into a picture, because it kind of softens the picture a little bit. But I really like it. I like particularly this filter. I like it to edit more light and soft pictures, but yeah, it's really cool. It offers a bunch of filters, and yeah, highly recommend. And then I have InstaSize. I don't use it as much because it doesn't offer a bunch of filters, or you can't just mix settings and everything to make it more personalized. So yeah, I usually just use Lightroom and my presets, and the photo is done. As I mentioned earlier on how I take my photos, first of all, I try to look for a set that matches more my Instagram feed, but if I don't do it, it's fine. I just take photos whenever I want, and yeah, we're cool with that, spontaneous, you know, woo. But the colors that I look more when taking photos or when edit them is just to pop the blues, the browns, and greens. I like to put the greens a little bit more faded, like chamomile, I don't know how to say it, but this type of green. And then I like to just make the photo more warm, calm, you know, the vibe. And I love blue, so I like to pop that color whenever I'm taking a photo. So whenever I want to add like subtitles on my photos, or like, you know, small text, I just use this app called Fonto. I usually use it for my thumbnails, as you can see. I basically use this app, and I use the font called Helvetica New Bold Italic. It's my go-to font, like every time. It's just there. And yeah, for Instagram posts, I like to make the text like pastel yellow, like this, and then without the spacing, and you would have something like that. And yeah, you just write whatever, you zoom out so you can get like it gets smaller, and you just put it here, and yeah, it's your subtitle. Now talking about how I actually edit the photos. So I go onto Lightroom, for example. I'm just gonna show you how I edit most of my photos, and then we'll talk about the specific filters or anything else from other apps that I like to use as well. So the first thing is to just crop my photos. So if I'm going to be posting this on Instagram, I want the ratio to be 3:4 because, you know, make it vertical, and that's the ratio. So I'm going to be selecting the right measure like this, and then I just put what I want and I cropped it. And yeah, so this is like the photo that I have. And now I go on my presets, and all the stars are my favorite ones that I put the start on. Just takes time to load everything. And so yeah, I have these 5 main filters. They are kind of different from each other, but you know, you don't have a perfect filter for every photo, so you need to mix with settings and everything else just to get where you actually want the photo to look like, you know. So for example, I'm using a lot this number 1 filter. I need to give names to the filters, but you know what, I forget. So the first one is the filter that I use the most, but nowadays I'm more need to use this 1.1 filter because I like how the orange color pops up and also the blue. And of course, if I think it's too much or needs more exposure or less, I usually don't mess up with that. But for example, the color, if I don't want it that warm, I, you know, change it. But yeah, I've been using a lot this preset that it's called 1.1 star. And I really like it because it just pops the right colors that I like when I see a picture, which are orange and blue. And as you can see here, for example, I can change the photo however I want. I usually go for a more warmy feeling, as I said before. But for example, look at the sky. The sky was like this and I like this color better, so I just change on the settings. And yeah, for example, the greens that I was talking about when taking a photo or whatever, as you can see, it changes. I like more these warmy vibes. And also you can change the saturation, but you know, I like it like this. And also I have this preset, which is more like a vintage one, where I use it to put the subtitles or anything. Whenever I want to add text to a picture, I think this filter goes better with the text. So yeah, I also use that, but you know, it was long ago, but I really like this filter, so it's on my favorites. Then I have this one as well, where it's basically the wine where it's basically a mixture of my first two presets, but you know, it just brights up a photo and I really like it. And then I have this one that I'm still learning you know, to like it, but it's more white than anything else, so yeah. But as you can see, I have a bunch of filters, and you know, to get to the perfect one, you just gotta go for a lot of tries. This is the filter that I use on my Instagram video, my YouTube videos. I did the preset here and then I exported to the Premiere and I apply it to each of my videos. And so yeah, I usually just use this 5 filters, more like the first 2, but yeah. But then I have Visco, which I made these presets that is kind of vintagey warm vibe. I really like it. I don't use it as much. I use it more for like Insta stories and everything else that is not profile related, but these are the settings if you want to copy them. But yeah, I usually what was that? So for example, on my photos I usually like to use A4, A6 sometimes, and then I really like KK2 and M5. So yeah, if I'm editing with Visco, I just mainly use those presets or profiles or filters, however you want to call it. Then if I'm moving on to Teza, what I like to do is I like to start, for example, this photo. As you can see, it really pops the blues and sometimes the orange because I like the mood filter. But then you have these, I think 4 available filters. I just like this one very much, and so I just select here the intensity of the filter, and then I would go around and change all the settings to just adjust the photo to what I want, or just move on to Lightroom and finish editing. I don't take that much of time to edit photos, okay? I feel like this video is taking forever for a person to edit a photo, but actually whenever you have your presets like made, you just need to adjust a little bit of things and your photo is like edited in like 2 minutes tops. So yeah. So that's basically everything that I do. I also have a lot of boards on Pinterest for inspirations and more filters to try on and everything else. So yeah, that was today's video. I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, to subscribe to the channel, and hi. The links for my social media are all down below, and if you want to check out my Pinterest page, we have a lot of boards there just for inspiration on Instagram posts and filters. And yeah, everything will be linked down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye! Here to record, and then I just put a bunch of pillows and I was almost falling.